US Vice President hopeful Kamala Harris and Trump's Vice President Mike Pence traded charges over America's COVID response. At the VP debate, Kamala called Trump's COVID response the greatest failure of any US administration. Kamala said that if there is a coronavirus vaccine available during Donald Trump's administration, not backed by scientific advices, she will not take it. US Vice President Mike Pence defended the United States' response to COVID-19, which has killed over 2 lakh people. In fact, Pence added that Trump always prioritized the lives of the American people.
Senator, I just ask you.
If the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it. Absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
The reality is that we're going to have a vaccine, Senator, in record time, in unheard of time, in less than a year. We have 5 companies in phase 3 clinical trials, and we're right now producing tens of millions of doses. So the fact that you continue to undermine public confidence in a vaccine, if the vaccine emerges during the Trump administration, I think is unconscionable. And Senator, I just ask you, stop playing politics with people's lives.
Kamala also in the beginning of the debate spoke about her mother, who's an Indian, saying that she was 19 when she gave birth to Kamala in California and would be proud of her right now.
Asking me to serve with him on this ticket was probably one of the most memorable days of my life. I thought about my mother, who came to the United States at the age of 19, gave birth to me at the age of 25 at Kaiser Hospital in Oakland, California. And the thought that I'd be sitting here right now, I know would make her proud, and she must be looking down on this.
And let me also take this across to Pratiksha Gildial, a senior journalist who's joining us from Ohio. Pratiksha, good evening. I think while there are a lot of differences, many people on either side of the debate saying, some saying Kamala did better, others saying that Pence had better points. I think what we can all agree on was that this was a lot more civil, a lot more informative than what we saw in the presidential debate.
Absolutely. I mean, if there's one takeaway, one main takeaway from this debate, it is that it was far more civilized and far less chaotic than last week's presidential debate. We heard about the policies of both the candidates and their parties. That's not to say it was a perfect debate. There was a lot of skirting around issues and dodging of questions, but at least we heard some amount of policy in there. Now, as for Kamala Harris, I thought she was quite effective, very incisive. She immediately tore into Vice President Mike Pence and his administration's response on the pandemic and how it has been handled. She time and again spoke about 200,000 plus lives being lost in America. That's more than 2 lakh lives being lost here. And she really tore into him. Vice President Pence, on the other hand, was his normal, calm, collected self. He defended his boss, President Trump's response to the pandemic and other issues. There were other issues that came up. They sparred on climate change and taxes. One interesting trivia that Kamala Harris brought up was that, according to a New York Times investigation, President Trump has paid, allegedly, only $750 in taxes. She was like, hang on, when I first heard that, I thought, is that $750,000? It's unbelievable that the President of the United States only paid $750 in taxes. And then she made it a point to tell the American people that the President is $400 million in debt. Now, that's something President Trump is not going to like, because he doesn't like being seen as a loser, as a losing businessman.
Another point, Pratiksha, that really stood out for me in this debate was the entire discussion on race. What we saw previously in the presidential debate was Trump not openly coming out and condemning white supremacists. That's something Kamala Harris brought up. Pence this time around said that's not true, that they're more than willing to condemn white supremacists.
That's right. I mean, President Trump was quite ambiguous in last week's debate when he was asked to outright condemn white supremacy, although later he did say to reporters and to press that he does condemn it. But a lot of people saying that his response was just not adequate. And remember, race is a very divisive issue here in America. This has been a summer of racial reckoning with protests and even violence across the country on the issue on how the police deals with people of color, particularly African American. Now, remember, Kamala Harris is part black, and she has taken a very progressive stand on the issue. She does think that there needs to be a rethinking of how policing is done, if not complete defunding of the police. President Trump's administration has constantly gone at it from a law and order issue. They have constantly just pointed out that there is violence happening, that protesters, that the Black Lives Matters protesters have committed violence in parts of democratic run cities. And that has been really his pitch to his voters, that if you elect me, I will set this straight. If Biden is elected, America will further slip into chaos. Of course, there's no evidence for that yet.
Okay. Pratiksha, I appreciate you joining us with all your inputs on that debate. Remember, it's the only vice presidential debate ahead of the United States elections. Whichever way you stand, one thing is clear. Unlike the presidential debate, this time around, we got to see a productive discussion, and it's clear on what Kamala Harris' stand is and what Mike Pence stand is on different issues.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.